Trump, for instance, might do in Helsinki a version of what he did in Singapore. He could pledge to halt US-led NATO military exercises in Poland and the Baltic states that Russia opposes. He could choose to ease U.S. sanctions on Russia, without addressing the Russian annexation of Ukraine's Crimea that caused the imposition of the sanctions in the first place. Trump reportedly questioned why G7 leaders were siding with Ukraine during their summit last month, adding that Crimea is Russian because everyone there speaks Russian. Not everyone, though, is pessimistic. Speaking at an EU summit in Brussels Thursday, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg called the upcoming meeting a sign of strength and said it's in NATO's interest to have an open dialogue with Russia. We don't want a new Cold War, he said. Fried noted that there are U.S. interests at play, too. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton and President Trump are right that there are areas where we should be cooperating with Russia, he said. However, none of that means that we should let up on the pressure against Russia in response to its aggression, against Ukraine, against Europe, against disinformation and election interference, and against the United States. How the summit will ultimately go could depend on Trump's performance in the meetings preceding it. At the NATO summit in Brussels, Fried said, Europeans fear Trump will reenact his performance at the G7 summit by railing against U.S. allies for taking advantage of the United States at the G7. This argument concerned trade. In Brussels, it will be about defense spending. Trump's visit to the UK is similarly foreboding, as mass protests threaten to put a damper on a meeting meant to bolster a struggling special relationship. If Trump goes to Putin with a united and relieved alliance behind his back, he could have a success. Fried said. If the president goes to Putin with a divided alliance at his back, he's going to be in a weak position because he will not want to strike out and have 3 bad meetings. There is a danger that he would pay too much to Putin in the form of unrequited concessions to get an optically good meeting. I don't see what American interest is served by that. Yasmin Sirhan is a London-based assistant editor at The Atlantic.